We move on to the big game on Saturday, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Tennessee Titans 7-9, 4-4 on the road at the Jacksonville Jaguars, 8-8, 4-3 at home. We're at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. 56 Fahrenheit clear, 3 miles per hour. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. Gerald Jones, Birdie, Spenny, T-Mac, Slatsy, Dabby, Cab, Sammy Comer, Dan Kelly. Great group. Thank you guys for running with us here. Let's talk about this one. A lot on the line here. Start with the line history. This opened up with the Jaguars -7 at -107, and it's now -6.5. It did last at 7 for about 14 hours at Pinnacle. From a total standpoint, it opened at 39.5, and that's where it is at some books. Some are moving to the under at 39. Some have moved to the over now at 40. I know that Pinnacle had the under juiced heavily, and there's been a move towards the over in the last 24 hours at Pinnacle. Let's take a look at the cash flow for Titans Jaguars. 6,691 tickets in, 47% of the tickets and 97% of the cash. It's early, very early, but that's on the Tennessee Titans. Then 70% of the tickets are on the over, and we don't have a cash count, but you can tell by just the market here. The Titans come in off a big rest advantage over the Jags. They have been off since last Thursday when they lost their 6th straight game, 27-13 at home to the Cowboys. The game was meaningless for Tennessee in the standings. So with this week's regular season finale at Jacksonville to decide the AFC South title, last week they scratched 7 starters, and not counting the 2 they put on IR alongside Tannehill. Derrick Henry, one of those who was resting. They've been beaten up this year. 22 players on injured reserve. They lead the NFL using at least 83 different players. Joshua Dobbs signed off the Lions practice squad. Was decent. Didn't look better than Malik Willis, former University of Tennessee star. Had more yards passing by halftime than Willis managed in any of his 3 starts. 20 at 39 for 232 yards in his first TD pass of his career, 7-yarder to Robert Woods, threw an interception, lost the fumble. He moved the offense. The Titans finished with 317 total yards, 7 of 16 on third down. Traylon Burks caught 4 for 66, Woods 5 for 39 and a touchdown. Hassan Hankins ran 12 times for 40 yards, caught 2 for 13. The defense couldn't get stops when it mattered most. They're banged up defense. Cowboys were 8 of 13 on third down, 3 of 4 in the red zone. They got 1 sack, 4 quarterback hits. Kevin Byard had 2 picks. Andrew Adams, a DB, hurt his knee. He was carted to the locker room, and it's a torn patellar tendon, so he's on IR. So just another injury. That puts their total numbers on the injured reserve to 23. Devontae Harris hurt his hamstring, and Amani Hooker will be back in the lineup this coming week. My first instinct here was that the Jaguars made a mistake. I know a lot of people like what they did here. They're in first place in the AFC South. They could win the division for the first time since 2017. They chose to play their stars in a meaningless Week 17 game at Houston. They looked very good doing it. They won 31-13. There's a ton of confidence, but also there are consequences. They're at a major rest disadvantage. This Titans team not only played Thursday, 11 days off, but rested 7 starters. Trevor Lawrence didn't play most of the second half, and Etienne didn't play in the second half, and that's all well and good, but I think it hurt them in the long run. We will see. Trevor Lawrence, 17 of 21 for 152 yards and a pick. Marvin Jones got 6 for 61. Etienne looked awesome. 9 carries for 108 yards and a touchdown, caught 3 for 32. Christian Kirk had 21 yards receiving. That's 1,009 on the year. He's the 5th player in franchise history to break 1,000. The defense completely shut down the Texans. 277 total yards, 1 red zone appearance. Finished with 2 sacks and 12 quarterback hits. I can't wait to hear your breakdown because I kind of like the Titans in this situation, and I kind of think that they can keep this close, but then I don't know if I can trust Dobbs. So let's hear your breakdown. Take it away for us, Andy. Titans, Jaguars.
I did bet the Titans because it was 7 and I didn't think it would last. Maybe we see a bunch of, Jacksonville money come in and it pushes back, but this is absolutely a Titans bet. I don't understand this number. Like this should be 5.5, I guess, in my book, especially with the rest advantage. Like I know Jacksonville rested some players, but those players still traveled and prepped and did the whole like part of rest, and the rest advantage is not playing at all. Like just mentally taking that break. Like In what world does a half day of work, feel anything like staying home, sleeping in, not doing shit? Like, you still had to play half a game of football, and then the league didn't do them any favors. The fact that they're at a big rest disadvantage already, and now it's a Saturday game, so Jacksonville gets one fewer days in a spot where Tennessee is going to not only be rested up coming off Thursday, but have a rested running back. The fact that they were smart enough to start Dobbs, because Willis is truly, truly horrific. Dobbs is not great, but he's better than Willis. Willis is he's not a thrower of the ball. He just doesn't look like that's ever going to work out in the NFL. So I'm excited about Dobbs playing from a standpoint of, at least it's not Willis. You have a decent coach. Like, I do love Doug Peterson, but Vrabel's a good coach. You have a rested running back. Jacksonville is okay versus the run. I have them slightly above average as a run defense right now. It's been a good defensive late. This total's low for a reason. But yeah, Tennessee plus anything better than 6. I only made 2 bets on Sunday night. This was one of them. And again, I do have some Jacksonville to win, to make the playoffs, to win the AFC, to win the Super Bowl at some obscene numbers preseason. So I want them in the playoffs, obviously, to keep them alive. So it was always going to be a semi-hedge, but I assumed I'd be coming into this week betting like a 4. To get the 7 on Sunday felt silly. So, like I said, I like this at a 6 or better, and it is official. And it's officially, I said I bet 2 on Sunday. One of them was the Jets plus 3.5. Like, this one you can actually bet. Like, the Jets number is gone once we get to that. There's always some funny line moving on week 18. I should have paid more attention, I guess, to a couple, because there were some places hanging a horrible Vikings number for a little bit as well. But some people are thinking that what's the birdie thing? You can wait. Doesn't matter. There's going to be Jacksonville money. I think that's probably the case for the public money here. So you could probably get this number or better. I don't think you're in a big hurry to bet this, but I love the Titans.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of people who trust Vrabel in the market, and I'm not certain that this goes back to 7. I think that you got it when you should have got it. And I think I need to get it now to make sure I get the 6.5 and minus 110 personally. Brady says, I think Dobbs will be fine as long as he can hand the ball to Henry and complete 4 or 5 meaningful play action passes, which he showed last week he could. Titans money line very live here. Brady leaning heavy on the under as well. I'm kind of interested that this total is skyrocketing up over the last 12 hours, 18 hours or so. Do you agree with this move now? So we're crossing the 40 barrier?
I guess you could say it was a little low, but if this keeps going to like 44, 41 or something, I might actually double dip and have an under here. I tend to think 40 is about the right number.
Yeah. So Andy, we got you plus 6.5 minus 105, and I'm going to move on this. I just wanted some added confidence from you guys, and you have given it to me. So I'm going to be moving on the Titans at plus 6.5 minus 105. That concludes Saturday action.